you do need to be intentional. Like that is super important. And I'm very intentional about my workouts and I'm very intentional about my nutrition. But I also have to have, and all of you guys do too, is an extreme amount of dedication and discipline. That's what's going to take you to the end result. That's what's going to get you to where you want to go when motivation just isn't there. So, like, remember that. So, I'm glad, Nancy, like you did the thing. I'm glad you did the thing, Chris, because like those are the days that count the most. Are the days you dig deep and it may not be pretty. It may not be cute. It may not be the best workout you ever had. That's okay. I call them check the box days. Because 9 times out of 10, once I get my happy ass there, I do a pretty good job at working out anyway. I usually get there, I get into the mood, and I'm like, okay, I got this. I'm good. I'm Gucci. All right, give me another win.
I have one. My friend asked me what I was doing with my arms because she said, I noticed when you were standing next to me, your arms are starting to look like guns, not stumps.
Woo woo! Send her our way. Tell her come join us. I love it. That's a great win. And you just started sprinkling my little fairy magic on you. I love that. Good job, Brenda. Yes, I love that. Right out of the gate. Who else has got? Those are fun ones to get, man. I love that. I love it. I love getting stopped in the grocery store or in the store, which will happen, and people will say, damn, how do I get arms like that? It's so great. I love that. I love it. It's the best compliment ever. I'm like, well, so good for you, Brenda. Love it. Who else? Hello, Caroline. What's your win?
Trying to get the right position. Well, I did not eat the pizza. I did not eat the ice cream. I did not eat the chips, even though everyone around me was. And it was a very tiring day. And at 9 o'clock, there was still ice cream flying around after 12 hours. And I was exhausted and I still didn't get it. So I it was tiring. Some point I was resentful, but I didn't do it, and I felt pretty proud about myself.
You
And then my husband said, "I think I want to go in your nutrition plan. I see you getting results, and you're so determined." So a new plan for the both of us on Sunday.
love it. Love it. Tell them I take on men too. I'm all for it.
It was Helen.
Yeah, that's some military dudes with the time. I love that. That's a really, you know what, you kind of came in, you didn't hear the beginning of it, but like, again, another really good example of that dedication and discipline. Sometimes it's just not going to be fun. But the one of the things, Caroline, that I think I'll point out for all of you guys, it's easier to say no to the pizza and the shit and the candy flying around when you are fueling your body throughout the day. So like the hard thing is when all of that starts to go flying around and there's the emotional piece that wants you to go, "Oh, I resent this. These people are eating this." It's harder to say no, like if you're very hungry. It's easier to cave. So it's like you can kind of work yourself through those emotions. And this is like, it's a big piece of it, guys. It's not a forever thing. Like, there's points and times where you're going to get to a place where you're going to have the ice cream and the pizza or the whatever, if you want to. But the idea with this program is to get you to the place where you create the habits and the values to what's what I just said. It's if you want to, because you're in the driver's seat. You're the person that's controlling the food isn't controlling you. So that's a classic example, Caroline. It's a win because you're sitting in a place where you're like, no, I have control. I'm the one that says if I eat this or not. And that's like the true food freedom. That's when you like lean in and you have maybe the ice cream or you the pizza or the whatever it is, but it's because you really want it It's not because everybody else is having it or because you feel resentful. Like you just don't give a shit. Like it's like, well, this is really what I want, so I'm gonna have a bite or two of it. And that's like that's the whole difference. Like that is it. And that's like and that's where we create these habits that start to build up and it becomes easier to do that. Like, you know, Christina's talked about it a few times. She was on vacation. Sandy's talked about it. They've been in the program for a while. Like it's like a win because you're in front of all this stuff and you're like, yeah, no, I don't really want it, or yeah, I think I do want it, but I'm in control of this bitch, and if I want it, I'm gonna have it, and I mean, I'm not gonna hoover the damn thing. It's just I'm gonna have something because I want it, and then I'm gonna move on, and that's it. Call it a day. I love it. Great wins. Great wins. All right. So, some of you guys, I wrote down some questions. You have questions about everybody on here. You have questions about, well, not everybody. Some of you guys wrote down questions about my competition. Yes? Sweet. So, Chris, I know you had some. Hit me. I'm an open book.
What did I ask you? I asked you. Oh, well, like how many times have you competed in the past?
15 times.
Oh my God, really?
Mhm.
So how many years?
I started in, I believe it was 2016.
Wow. What made you want to compete?
It was something that I always wanted to do, but I never thought that I could do.
Mm,
So I was one of the girls that in the beginning I had my coach, the coach that changed my life and everything for me when I was first getting into fitness, asked me what I wanted to do, and I said I love bodybuilding. I really want to be a bodybuilder, but I
mm,
can't be a bodybuilder because I'm too old. I don't have the genetics. My metabolism sucks, and just look at the shape of my body. And she said, "What did you miss about the word bodybuilding?" I'm like,
mm.
I can't do it. I'm too old. And
So, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
so she convinced me otherwise. She showed me that I could do it. And then I was going to do it once, and I did do it once. I did it in a very, very local show. It was unsanctioned. There was no federation attached to it. It was just a local show. And I was just doing it to be the one and done girl, to say that I did it, and then I caught the bug. And
Mm.
2 months later, and I was competing in NPC shows, and then it just roller coastered after that.
And so what categories do you compete in?
I used to compete in bikini. This particular last time, this past weekend, I competed in what's called fit model.
Okay.
Um, Bikini is was until fit model came out, I don't want to say it is the division that is the softest, like doesn't require the hardest amount of muscle.
Mhm.
The only reason I went into fit model this past weekend was because it has been newly added and it is now the entry level or into bodybuilding. Now, why would I be an entry level when I've competed 15 times? Because my accident put me way behind in my legs. So my upper body is very, very developed, but my lower body is not back to where it was.
Mm.
And so we weren't sure that I'd be competitive in bikini. I've since changed my mind.
Mm.
So I think I'm going to go back to bikini. Because
And you placed? Did you place three? Yeah, that's
yep, I
awesome.
placed. I won the 50 and over. I was third in 40 and over, and I took the one I'm most proud of is I was fifth in the open class. So the open class is all age divisions based on height, and I was fifth. I was top five in that against those 20-year-olds.
Amazing.
I know, stood right up there with them. I didn't beat the whole. I was top five. So,
Yeah,
all
good for you. That's awesome.
right. Who else has got a question? Oh, you know what? Somebody asked me, you can raise your hand and ask, how many times have I competed? What was the toughest part this time? I think this was you, Chris. What was the toughest part this time? What was your biggest takeaway? Will I compete again? Was that you? Toughest part. Toughest part this time was something that I didn't know what was going to happen. The toughest part was the emotions and the feelings of me getting back into. So it happened the morning of. Like, I did not realize how much I didn't believe that I was going to compete again and how much I loved it. And the morning of the show, I was kind of going, I have a routine that I go through, and it's a lot of mindset. So just kind of trying to, I do a lot of things to keep myself in a very focused zone when I go to compete. So basically, I have my regular morning rituals, but I kind of lock myself in. I lock out the world. I just like, I put my headphones on and I'm tuned in. And I was kind of going through my morning kind of ritual, and my friend was driving me to the competition. And I had my well, actually, I think, yeah, I had my headphones on. And I was listening to a playlist that I have. It's a playlist that I listen to when I pose, when I like get closer to the show. I'm kind of a hippie, so it's got a lot of hippie music in there. If you're, it's actually a really good playlist. But anyway, I was listening to it. One of the songs is about being a phoenix and flying. So those of you that don't know, I very well much associate my comeback with a phoenix. And so I was listening to the song and the tears just started running down my eyes, and I had no idea, but and I had been listening to this the entire time I was getting ready to compete. But that morning as we were driving there, I was like, holy fuck, this is happening. This is really happening. Like, after 2 years of not even knowing if I was going to walk again, build back, like, and I thought I was like past all of that. So that was tough. And then when I got to the venue and I kind of was zoning out, paying attention, like, just trying to like keep in my head again about what was about to happen, it hit me several times before I hit the stage. My posing coach kind of talked me down a little bit. I was like, holy fuck, I can't believe, like, I don't know. I keep crying. The poor guy that my coach had a proxy there. So proxy is somebody that takes your coach's place. So he couldn't be there because he's in Arizona. So he had somebody there with me. Imagine a dude. I'm looking at him and I start crying and he said, Jesus fuck, what the hell am I gonna do with this girl? She keeps crying. But it was all good. So that was the hardest part for me. And yes, I do plan on competing again. So yeah, I don't know how to say that, but I do plan on competing again. Probably, we haven't really picked a show yet. I'm thinking it's going to be in November in Las Vegas. So now that I am, this show was a regional show and it was to get me requalified. So because I competed so many times in the past, I was at a national, so I was qualified nationally to get my pro card. So there's different divisions. I was qualified. And in order to stay qualified, you just have to keep competing every year, which is what I did. But then when I got in the accident, I was off for 2 years. So I like got kicked off the roster. I'm not qualified to go to a national show and compete for my pro card. So I had to do this to get requalified. So now I'm qualified and I could go, but there's only a few master shows left. One is in a couple of weeks at the end of August in Pittsburgh, which I usually compete at, but it's too soon. So I'm probably going to do one in Las Vegas because I kind of want to hit the stage as a bikini competitor. I don't think I want to do fit model again. It was okay, but I'm gonna when they start to tighten me up even more to make my legs look better, it means I have to diet down harder to make my legs look leaner because I'm just like all of you guys. Legs are the last one to come in. So in order to get my legs to look denser, harder, more of what you see in some of my old pictures, I have to get dieted down even more. Well, as they do that, my upper body will get more and harder looking. And that's simply because I'm of my age. It's hard to keep me soft looking and like the fit model division, I tend to get a little bit, I get harder than this. Even what I look like right now, I get real dense looking. And so I'm better off to just go into bikini. Anybody else got a question? Fire away. Somebody asked me what my day in life.
I don't have a question, Jules, but I just want to say that's real. And I'm so glad that you got to feel all the feels because I can't imagine how much joy and just a sigh of relief that that must have been to get back to where you had been before. So kudos to you.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. It was big. It was really big, bigger than I thought. I appreciate it. Um, all right. Somebody asked me, I wrote these down. Would love to hear a day in life of prep. Can I walk you through what that look? Can I walk you guys through what that looks like physically and emotionally? Woo! Emotionally. So prep. Does everybody want to hear that answer to that question? What it looks like to be in prep? Sandy, are you eating popcorn like you're watching a movie? It's like she's watching a movie. I'm kidding. So prep isn't really that different than what you guys are going through, honestly. So, like anybody that starts this journey, it's very, very similar. There's a lot of discipline that goes to it, and it's something that it is it can be very relatable to you guys. Some of you guys have heard me say this to you. The closer you are to your goal, so like your goal weight, your goal, like the body fat, whatever it is you are, the more dedication and discipline it takes. Who's heard myself or Nicole talk about that before? Yeah. So the further away you are, you can be a little messy and get results, but many of you guys will notice is if you're as you get closer to your goal, or even if you start out and you don't have a long ways to go, the devil is in the details. Well, that's very similar when it gets to prep. So the closer I get to that show, I'm constantly losing body fat more and more and more and more. But that percentage goes down very, very small, like to the fact like I'm just pinching skin. Like right now I have a little bit of water underneath me. But like when I show up show day and I pull on this, it's like literally skin, like sitting on top of muscle. My body fat percentage, I didn't get as low for this show as I normally do because we were trying to keep a little softness on me, but I can get down to like 9% body fat, and that's why I am better off competing in the other divisions because it's hard to keep me slightly soft. To get to that level, the level like there is, so to tell you, like I don't have room for error. Like I'm telling you guys, if I have a half an ounce of nuts in my nutrition plan and I drop it on there and it goes to zero point 0.6 versus 0.5, you want to know what I have to do? I take it off. It's 0.5. That's the level. If I'm measuring out rice and that it's a gram over, that gram comes out. If it's an ounce over in protein, I don't put now, does that mean that I'm like this all the time? Nah. When I'm off season, or even if in the beginning of my prep, I might be a little loosey goosey. I might get a little hungry and I'll throw a couple pickles in my mouth to satisfy me. I'll have a few, like I might do some things here and there, and it won't affect me that much. But the closer I get to that stage date, the less room for error I have. So I don't fuck around at all. Like I don't miss, I don't hit. Like, and that's like even with my workouts, if I'm supposed to do 15,000 steps, I fucking nail 15,000 steps. If I'm supposed to be on the Stairmaster for 40 minutes, which luckily I'm not anymore, but let's just that used to be it. My body has changed and I don't have to have that level of discipline, or I don't have to do that type of cardio anymore. But I don't get off 2 minutes before 40 minutes is up. I don't get off a minute, 30 seconds, 10 seconds. Not at all. It's like that. So those that like that's what it's like to be in prep. And because if you don't do that, like your odds, it's you against you guys. Like it's me against me. I'm the only person that's going to stand in my way. I'm the only person that's going to stop me from winning that trophy, from being competitive on that stage. I'm the one in control of it. Now, once I hit that stage, it is a matter of subjective opinion on what a judge thinks I look like in comparison to another girl. But what I have to remember is they're not looking at who has the best physique, they're looking for flaws. So as we are up there, the way that they judge is they're looking for flaws, not who has the best physique, but who has the most flaws. That's the only way that they can judge subjectively. So I have to take away all the flaws that I can possibly take, and I'm in control of that. So that leads into an emotional mess because that's a lot. So, like, when you ask me, like, what is it like emotionally? I'm pretty good. I don't get super emotional. I'm usually a happy girl when I go through prep. Um, but I also I was reminded this prep of I do have a bit of a temper. So some people cry. I get a little, I noticed I have a bit of a temper. I can snap a little bit easier. So I was telling you, so my girlfriends used to say to me, they were threatened when I used to be in prep before, they used to threaten to give me a t-shirt that said, "Don't anger it." I was reminded probably the last week, peak week, of why I used to walk around. They used to threaten to give me a t-shirt that said, "Don't anger it." Yeah, don't anger it. Don't be on the Stairmaster if I need to get on it. I'm gonna rip you off of it. Don't be sitting in front of dilly-daddling on your phone on a weight station that I need, because I'm gonna come up and I'm gonna knock you right off of it. It's kind of like why I'm really not exaggerating either. My head kind of starts to spin around, but that's kind of what it's like. But it's just the level of stress that you're under, and you're not. I'm not eating. My calories go fairly low, so there's a lot of like, and then there's the anxiety behind it. So, but the next one, usually when I go into like I roll into the next one, my mood changes. I get happier and a little bit more happy-go-lucky. Jen, she cries a lot. She's in prep. I gotta deal with her emotions. Who else has questions? Hi, Carolina. Carolina. Carol, I can't. Don't worry about me. All right, let's see. What else do I have written down here? I'm interested in hearing about all of it, the comeback plan, the prepped meals, the workout, the competition format, backstage, and backstage. Oof, that's a lot that somebody asked. Um, the comeback plan. That you guys have been witnessing probably since that has been going on for 2 years. The comeback plan was a long one, and if you're interested in hearing about that, that's a good one too. And this is like what a lot, this can be really relatable to a lot of you. It's the long game. So the comeback, like if who's seen pictures of my body composition going through? Okay. I think I just did a post not too long ago. So that's really real. There was a long time, guys, and this is where the scale isn't your friend. There was a very long period of time, if you look back at some of my body comp pictures, where my weight isn't much different at all. At all, but my body changes a lot. In fact, if you look at my side by sides of this comeback, you'll notice my weight varies very, very little. And my weight didn't drastically change until like the last month. That's when I dropped out of the 130s into like the 120s. And I didn't even drop that low. I think the lowest I got was 128, but I was hanging out in the high 130s and 140s almost the entire time, but my body composition would change a lot. And that's something that you guys like, this is like, so again, you're not alone. Like these are the things that start to happen. So as you get closer to your goals, the scale, guys, isn't always going to matter. And I love this question because a lot of times I get, but the scale's not moving, Jules. The scale's not moving. The more muscle you guys get on your body, you won't start to see it move as much. It will start to plateau itself off a little bit and it'll drop a little bit at a time. So mine didn't drop a lot till the end because we didn't have the pedal on the metal. I had to eat in order to maintain my muscle mass. I had to eat and to maintain and have enough strength to keep the muscle that I had on my body and to continue to develop it, I had to eat. So my body composition was changing. The macros that we played with were enough to, and the exercise that I was doing. So as my movement increased during the comeback, so as I was able to move more, I had more mobility, and it wasn't just my upper body. I wasn't just, I went from a wheelchair to a walker to crutches to walking on my own at a very slow pace. I usually walk at like 4 miles an hour. I can walk like 4.4 to 4.5 miles an hour is how fast I could walk prior to that. I could barely walk 2 miles an hour when I first started. So as that started to increase and my mobility and I got stronger and I was able to do more with my legs, that body fat percentage started spinning off. But my nutrition, my macros never changed because we had to keep me eating that amount of food to maintain my muscle. But towards the end, when we had to cut body fat, that's when my macros got cut, and that's where you started to see the weight. That's when you started to see my weight spin down. So keep that in mind, guys. That story isn't very different for many of you as you're on your journey. Like, you're not going to see these drastic results, but your body composition will change. Your clothes will fit different. And even I noticed that, like, when my body composition changed, and it didn't change right away, I would say after 4 months of being immobile, I was probably, let's see, I think it was January. I got, this is 2025, right? So it was January of 2023 that I got into the accident. And I would say it was April. I remember looking in the mirror going, who the fuck is that? I didn't recognize myself at all. I didn't recognize the way I looked, the way I fit in clothes. Like, I was like, that was when I went into panic mode. I was like, I did all this hard work and it's all gone. But it was just because my body composition was changing. I had more body fat and less muscle because I wasn't moving. But then it slowly started to change again, and I started looking like myself again, like step by step. And it took months for that to happen. As I would look in the mirror, I was like, oh, my clothes are fitting a little bit different. Oh, that I recognize that shape. But it wasn't until maybe even 3 months ago that I really started recognizing my shape again. So it's a slow process, guys. It's fast, but it's slow. And I probably wouldn't have been where I was had I not had the muscle mass that I had underneath me. That's true story. I probably would have, a lot of things would have not went the way that I would not have made the comeback the way that I did if I hadn't had the muscle I had when I was hit and got into the accident. It's what saved me. Not just saved my life, but it is what allowed my metabolism to make that comeback because I did have that muscle, and muscle actually helps to keep your metabolism up. So even while I was laying around in a hospital bed, because I had more muscle on my frame than your average person, I was able to quasi maintain a decent shape, even though I would tell you different. So that was kind of the comeback. So the comeback was like we just had to like work with what we had, and as I built more muscle and was able to had more mobility, we just continued to increase, and it's not over yet. Now we have to shift into a whole new process where I probably will train my upper body less and start training my lower body more. In fact, we're playing with the idea of my upper body getting almost completely pulled out of the picture, and all I do is work with my lower body. Woohoo! Legs day every day. Oh, exciting. Um, Questions? Anybody want to share anything? Why are you so quiet? You guys wanted me to talk about this.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
I loved hearing your story about all your comeback and everything. This is completely off the subject. Is that okay?
Good.
I just have a question about the meal plan.
Mm-hmm.
So after I'm done with the reset, what will it look like after the reset? Like, is it still, is it as structured as far as what I will be eating, or is it a little more flexible, or?
Who wants to answer that for her?
Someone that just came out of the reset, it's going to continue being structure. But the structure is good. I'm feeling really good about the structure. The weights, that doesn't go away. But I think the main reason why I am loving the structure is like I started the call talking about my win, which I didn't have the pizza, I didn't have the like, even though there was everything around me, because, and I'm trying to put my steps right now. That's why I'm out of there. Because I packed full day of meal to go to the beach with little tiny containers that I pre-measure everything. Um, if you get a carb cycle like I did, you get a little bit more variety. You get a day that is one menu, another day that is a different menu, but the structure stays.
Okay. But every day is not the same.
Yeah. So in the carb cycle, I have 2 days that is the same. The third day is different. Then two
Okay.
days of the same, like it was before. You also, I'm also a good cook. So I take a lot of pride in the spices. I'm originally Brazilian and we cook a lot. So I do have different options of chicken and different options of turkey that really helps. Um, but and then you like, yeah, I think in the reset you eat the same meal like for 3 weeks. In the carb cycle, you have a little bit more variety. But it's the same. 2 days in, then you have a break, and then you have 2 days of the same thing.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
You
I
can get the
just
same thing. Yeah,
kind of
I think
wanted to know what I could expect.
Well, just so you know, that doesn't, Jules will laugh at me because I was asking these same questions. That doesn't last forever either. I think I've
Okay.
been here about 4 months, maybe. And you do, like, I'm still doing a carb cycle, as she said, but then you're given a little bit more freedom to kind of play. And the ironic thing is I actually go back to eating the same thing. Like, I had a couple of weeks where I was like, I'm gonna have, and every night was a different supper. My lunches were basically the same, but now I'm back to kind of like, I found the breakfast that I really like. I can do 1,000 things with chicken. But I make sure I have fish at least twice a week. And it's you end up having this routine where you end up feeling comfortable with that repetitiveness, because you get, as you said, the spices and how you flavor it is different, but the basics are the same, and you'll find that you'll probably lean into the repetitiveness once you find your groove a little bit, because it does help you.
Okay.
But you do get more freedom. You really do. And then you kind of go, oh, I didn't really need all of that.
Okay. Thank you.
Anybody want to add to that? You guys are doing a really good job. Does anybody want to add to why the structure is there? It kind of leans into a little bit of what I was talking about with me. Like, what did you find helped you? And you kind of talked about it a little bit, Sandy, like that structure. Like, how did it lead you, or does anybody want to expand? How did it lead you to where you got more freedom?
To be honest, for me, the structure was great because when it gave me an ounce of chicken, at the first, in the beginning, I was just like, okay, 3 ounces, and I was looking at the number on the scale. But because it became so routine that I started to be able to, like, it was almost a competition picking the chicken out of the bucket. Like, I bet I can get 3 ounces or 5 ounces or whatever it was without too much of a being off by too much, because I started to understand what that looked like. The repetitiveness gave you that ability to look and be like, okay, that's what a half a cup looks like. In the beginning, it is all about measurement. You don't even notice what it looks like. I had a hard time eating all the food in the beginning. And now it's more about like, oh, I know what that looks like. I know, what 20 grams of blueberries looks like versus 100 grams if I have it for my snack or something like that. And it helps you so that you can. And the other thing I liked personally about the meal plans is it introduced me to foods I didn't know kind of existed. um like the corn tortillas. I don't think I even knew there were corn tortillas. I thought there were only flour ones out there. And they don't make great sandwiches, but they make awesome chips. So you can bake them and turn them into your own like Tostitos, and with a side of
I didn't know that. I love
oh
that.
yeah. And you flavor them so you can make them your own personal Dorito flavor, like whatever flavor you want, onions or what have you. And then yeah, with that side of avocado, it's awesome. I just actually threw them in my set. That's what I was eating, a salad. And I had the corn chips as like my crouton.
Mhm.
So
That's great.
yeah, you get more creative, but it does introduce you to things that you wouldn't have thought of.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, I think this is really good. So Nancy, a lot of what this is, and I think these ladies will nod their head, is it's like what we talked about in the beginning on the awareness call, and it's hard to see is remember in the awareness call I said like we're stacking habits.
Yeah.
This is part of it. So like what you hear happening here, like even from both of these ladies, is this is by giving you a guide and that structure, you get to that freedom place. And like where like Sandy said, oh, you get more freedom with your macros, but by giving you all of that structure, we build you up to this place that like Sandy would be the first person to tell you, like when she first got her freedom, she's like, ah, I'm like, what do you mean I'm gonna do this? But like by stacking these things and creating these habits, like not only can she eyeball things now, but like you said, you heard her talk about, well, there's certain things that she leans into. She saves certain meals, she's figured out like what she likes. But because of the repetitiveness, like understanding the macros, understanding how to build your own meals, because there is going to come a place where I'm not going to give you the structure. Some of these guys will tell you this. I'll say, oh, here's 2 or 3 meal guides for you to follow. They don't match your macros exactly,
Mm.
but use them as guides and stay in your macros. But by stacking these things for you guys, you get to a place where, oh, well, that's easy because I did the work. I, followed the videos. I did all the things. I listened and I like that's where like doing these things becomes really important. Like when we say, hey, enter your meals into my fitness pal. And you may be thinking, some of you might be thinking, and I know a lot of you think, what the fuck do I have to enter a goddamn meal in a MyFitnessPal when you're telling me to eat exactly what's on it? This feels repetitive and stupid. There's a reason for it. We want you to enter it in because we're creating that habit for you. And if you're saving the meals and you're learning to copy and paste, then pretty soon you have all of this available and it becomes really simple to create your own plan based around your macros. And as Sandy said, and some of these other guys might tell you, you might save specific meals in there, like Coach Jen teaches you guys how to do that. Then if I give you macros, you can almost build your own damn meal. You can build it way long past I'm gone because you have your own stuff built in there. So a lot of it is based on, so yes, it feels repetitive, but a lot of it is based, and the reset is designed, it has a very specific reason. It is designed to do just that, to reset you. It is designed to give you more energy, to have you feeling better, to create some good habits, to teach you that food is fuel. And then the carb cycle, whether I do a carb cycle or not with you, that it's like all of a build to get your body like priming the walls to get your body to where it needs to be so that when we stick you into the fat loss phase, whether I do a carb cycle or not with you, your body's ready. But it's all, most of it is habit stacking. Because let's face it, what you're doing right now, is it working? Yeah. I can't hear you, but I'm going to assume it wasn't working.
Oh, what I was doing before, no, it was not working.
Yeah. So now we
No.
have to, so that's what we're doing. We're creating a new
Yeah.
habit. Make sense?
Yes. Thank you.
Anybody want to add to that, or did we do good?
Well, the reset phase was so good for me that it even helped me sleep. I wasn't sleeping, and Joe, I was in my check-ins every week. I can't sleep. I freaking hate this. I can't sleep. And then I started it, and like I think like 10 days within the reset, it's almost like something was turned on inside of me, and I slept a full night, which I hadn't. I haven't started my hormone replacement yet, and literally had a conversation yesterday that ever since it started the correct nutrition plans. And I also get the supplement that Jules recommended. I sleep like a baby. So it's like the awareness that food can do this to you. It was one of the biggest learnings for me.
That's very, very true. I'm glad you brought that up because yes, I mean, and that's like where we talk about this, guys. Like you hear Nicole talk about it. Hormones a real fucking thing. Like really, like it is the thing that can make it very hard for you to do the things that you need to do because if you're not sleeping, you're too tired to get up and to do the work and to meal prep and to, all of the things. But I'm glad that you brought that up because you're not the only person, Carolina. Or no, Carolina's right there.
There's a Carolina, and you can call me
Yeah,
Caroline to make it
but I'm
different.
glad. Oh my God, my dyslexia is coming in now. Um, But it's good that you bring this up because it is very true. So that's another part of the reset is we are really resetting your body. So we are fueling your body and optimizing your hormones. So like you asked me about asparagus, I believe, Nancy, and I said, yeah, you got to eat it because it's literally part of it. Like unless you told me you had an allergy to it, there's specific foods in the reset that are designed, a lot of them are vegetables and crucifers, to actually optimize your hormones the best that we possibly can without even putting you on HRT. So a lot of it, and it's also designed to boost your metabolism as well. So to boost your metabolism and optimize, I can't, like, that's all we can do is optimize your hormones. But I've heard that more than once. There's another girl who recently just told me, she's like, holy shit, I'm sleeping now. So there's a lot that can actually happen just with the food that you fuel your body with.
I want to add something to that too. So like over a year ago, I've had osteoarthritis in my knee, and it was so painful, so painful. And I went and had a cortisone shot. It didn't help me. And then I went and I got a Eufluxa shots series, the gel shots. And this was before. So it lasted like 6 months like it was supposed to. So then I went back and got another set of three. It's been almost a year since I've had that set of shots. And the pain that I used to have, it hasn't come back. And I think it has a lot to do with the way I eat now.
100%.
Yeah, it was so painful and like knock on wood, it's gone. I mean, I still have like some knee pain, but it's not like it would radiate pain from my knee all the way down to my foot. But I think the diet, like the way I eat, just, my diet
Yeah.
has made a huge difference.
Yeah. No,
Hmm.
it's totally true. Yeah. And
Hmm.
that's a lot of what so that's a lot of it too. So, it's not fun to think, food is fuel. And I use that a lot, but food is really fuel, guys. And that doesn't mean that you can't enjoy foods outside of food is fuel. But if you start to really think about food being fuel, it can be a game changer because it really is. It is the nutrients that you need to fuel your body. And a lot of the fun foods, well, I'm not telling you not to enjoy the ice cream and the things every once and again. And that's why you want to get to the point where you're in control of the food because there's a lot of like sugar, it is detrimental to your health. Like if you're eating a lot of sugar, joint pain, like Christina's talking about, things like that, your sleep fucking affected. Like sugar is horrible. Now, does that mean that you should never have it and that you can't enjoy the ice cream every once in a while? No, but you should have that. It should be a full body, holy shit, I really want to have the ice cream and sticking into moderation where you control it. It's just like there's just certain foods that the things that the refined oils that are in processed food, guys, are fucking shit for you. They're a shit show for your joints. They're a shit show for your sleep, your health. So it's just like, it's not like you're never going to have that fun food every once in a while, but shifting your mindset to like, you know what? No, that's not, it's not this emotional tool for me. Like, I'm not going to, eat the food because it's going to make me feel better. If I'm going to have that type of food, it's because I really want it. And like, let's be real. Who the hell ever wanted to have M&Ms? Like, oh my God, a full body, like, shit, I gotta have an M&M right now. Like, that's not the case. I can see it over grandma's cheesecake or something like that, but we don't have it over like peppermint candies. I would think not, or things like that. So like you could just like we just learned through society to like love these types of things. But I doubt I've never seen like anybody like go crazy over a bag of M&Ms or something like that. Food is fuel. You just got to learn to think of it that way.
I
And you,
just, oh, sorry, Jules.
no, no, go ahead.
I was just going to add one thing just to add to everybody's reason. And I'm personally going through a personal, I guess I would call it a crisis right now because I'm getting divorced. But I will, and I apologize if I tear up. I don't mean to. It comes and goes. But if it wasn't for this, I wouldn't be as stable as I am. And I don't look like it right now. But honestly, like being on this meal plan, being on the workout plan has helped my well-being, my mental well-being. And so in addition to your health, to your sleep, it really has kept me balanced. I feel the difference. There's days that are harder than others, but I am so grateful for this program. I'm grateful for knowing what I can eat every day. I don't have to think about it. If anything, the repetitive part of the food is the best part for me because the hardest part over was before was trying to be creative about what to eat. Now I don't think at all. It's just there. I eat it. I don't care what it is. I make it taste good. Nothing else matters. Of course, I ate ice cream last week. I wanted it and I had it. But the impact it's had on my mental well-being, it's just inexplainable. And I'm so grateful to you, Jules, for all of that and this whole group. I apologize that I haven't been on all these calls as often as I would like, but it really has been helpful. So everybody stick to it because it makes such a difference for your mindset also.
Thank you for sharing it.
Yep.
That's huge. It's absolutely, and it's so true. And a lot of that is too, is, when everything feels out of control, I can relate to what, Adriana is saying, like, and a lot of it is when everything feels out of control, if you've got something that you can control, that is like your anchor. So when everything falls out of control and when lifes, because life is gonna life, and that's where sometimes you guys will hear me say that in your feedback, control what you can control. And you can control your nutrition 110%. You can control your movement. And when you have control over something in your life, when the rest of your life is fucking spinning out of control, like that's your anchor. Boom, you've dropped it in the ground and you have an anchor. That was my anchor, guys. So like I can relate to Adriana and very similar. When my world went boom and it blew up, that was my fucking anchor. I could look at the doctor or the nurses and say, I want chicken and rice. Well, that's not right. Give me fucking chicken and rice right now with a side of broccoli. I had protein powder. Bring me oatmeal. I'm going to put it, I could control my food even in the hospital. Like that was the one thing I could control. So it is like use it. So I can totally relate, because when your life blows up, you want that one thing you can control. And so yeah, these are things that you can control. So lean into them. So definitely helps your mental health 100%. Not to mention when you're fueling your body, again, you're giving your body what it needs to thrive. So when chaos is happening, it's able to still thrive because you're fueling it and giving it what it needs versus, feeding into its emotion and making it a little bit more unstable. Your body wants to survive. It likes it when you treat it good. Sandy, got anything to add? Cindy, got anything to add?
Actually, yeah, I do. I have a couple things. Um, my heart truly goes out to you, Adriana, with the a divorce is one of the hardest things I have ever been through in my life. I mean, it's awful, but and as everyone, as they said, leaning into something and feeling good about yourself and feeling your body and all of those things are really really helpful to keep getting up every day and keep going on. And even now when I start, even at work, when things start to spin out of control and I start acting crazy, people are like, do you need to go eat? Do you need to go eat? Because I start, my mind starts getting all over the place. And it's so helpful to have that. There was something else I was gonna say too. Um, but that was my biggest thing, is that I really do feel for you. And if you ever want to chat, please feel free to reach out, because it's a rough one, but it sounds like you're managing it wonderfully. So
I appreciate that. I might be reaching out to you.
yeah.
Good stuff, guys. Love it. Anybody else have questions or anything they want to add to the conversation? Good stuff. Cindy,
Oh, I remember what I wanted to add. I'm sorry, Jules. Did I cut you off? One thing that I really found about myself, and I realized this when I was, because I thought I was a sugar addict before, and now when I'm nutritionally full and I'm not, I don't nearly crave what I used to crave, but I do notice I'm a night shift person, so I work 3 12s a week, night shift. When I start to get tired, my body starts to want sugar. I start to crave it. And that also happens in what I'm thinking for you guys is the evenings, like the evenings when you're getting close to bed and we're all like, oh yeah, now's a good time to, have that pint of ice cream, or oh, just one scoop of this or whatever. It's actually, and it is your body trying to stay awake. It wants something to stay awake to keep you moving. Well, your body wants to go to sleep, but you know, you're keeping it up. So it's trying to get something in it that is going to keep it awake. So that's what I actually read about all of that recently, because I was trying to figure out why on night shift I was always craving something. And it is, in fact, my body just saying, okay, well, we have to put something in there to stay awake. So
that's very
It,
true. I'll spin off of that. So it's quick energy. So that's very, very true. So sugars, whether they are fruit or refined sugar, is fast energy. It digests very quick. Boom, it gets into your body and it gives you fast energy. It also will have you crashing very quickly. So that's like why we eliminate sugar from your body. It's not just because it's a little bit toxic, or you'll notice that we give you low glycemic fruits like berries. The reason for that is to stop the sugar crash, like from you guys getting tired in the middle of the day. Because if you don't use the sugars properly, like anchoring them around, say workouts is a great way to anchor them around. Your body will that sugar spike, whether it's like natural fructose or artificial sugar, it'll boom kick you up here and then have you crashing. So like in Sandy's instance, her body is saying, you want us to stay awake, you need to give me some quick energy. So the body craves the sugar. Now, if she was to have the sugar, she would then crash as soon as she had it. So what she needs to have, and like what we do with her nutrition is, many of you guys, because you go to sleep at night, you'll notice that your macronutrients will, your carbohydrates will fall off. So for Sandy, giving her a slow digesting carbohydrate later in the day when she is on her night shift will keep her going further longer without the crash. So like oatmeal, stuff like that. But like a lot of you guys at night, because I know, and I'm glad you brought this up. So if you start to look at your nutrition, you'll notice that your carbs start to go down. If you're paying attention to the guides that we give you towards the end of the day, because carbs are energy. Carbs aren't bad. Carbs are energy. They are designed to give you energy. That's why you get them a lot of them in the morning to like propel you off during the day. You see them anchored around your workouts when you need them. But as the day goes on, because who the fuck needs energy at night when you're going to bed? Your body just needs to pump a heart, breathe, and that's it. It doesn't need, it's not being active. It's going to sleep. So we taper off your carbs because you don't need as many as at night. It's not that it's going to help you lose weight, you just don't need them. But to Sandy's point, a lot of times at night when you guys are craving snacks, this is what I would challenge you to do. If you're craving sugar at night, it is generally an emotional thing. It generally has to do with stress, um, boredom, things like that, or overwhelm, where you're, this is where I coach you guys to stop, drop, and roll. So if you're pitter pattering to the pantry, your brain is saying, I want, I want, I want, stop and think, do I really want this? No. 9 times out of 10, you're going to go, no, I'm not really hungry. Then think about what just happened. Like, what is the activity that just happened when you're doing the, like, before you had this, I just want to walk over to the pantry for some damn reason and I want to go get a donut. I want to go get this. What just happened? Figure out what the facts are. Did you just get off of a long day at work? Did you just have a fight with your kids? Did you just like get super irritated with your husband? Did you just come from a long day at work? Did you just shut down your laptop where you had multiple Zoom meetings, one after another? Take multiple Zoom meetings, one after another. What did that action, what is the emotion that that created? What does your body need because you were just on multiple Zoom calls, one after another? It needs a fucking break. Like, that's what you got to think. You just got done with school, Sandy, and your body is saying, I want, I want. Well, what just happened? I just left 8 hours of fucking kids driving me right up a goddamn wall. What do you need? Fuck, I need a break right now. Follow the dotting lines that I'm saying here. I need a break. Your body, based on what you have done your entire life, associates the bag of chips, the ice cream, the whatever with a break. But if you stop and you go, well, hold on, that's not because it's a break. I'm going to sit down and put my hand on a bag of chips. I'm going to sit down. I'm going to take a spoon of ice cream. Following me? Your body associates that with a break. But if you go, well, no, that's not a break, and you actually give your body a break, you go sit down in a bubble bath, you read a book, you close the door to your bedroom, and you go, just stay away from me for a hot minute. That's your break. Now you've given your body what it wants. It doesn't necessarily want the food. The same if you're angry or stimulated, somebody just pissed you off, your body wants stimulation. You feel like this, feel like that. You're used to going and putting your hand, doing something. Again, if you identify the action, I just got irritated because my kids just drove me right up a kid, or I'm agitated and I have a lot of anxiety. Well, what do I need? I just need to be stimulated. I need some stimulation because I'm full of anxiety right now. Well, again, are you reaching for the food to be stimulated? And if that's like, once you identify that, then you can go, well, no, that's not going to do the thing. So I'm just going to go run around the block for a minute and get this. And then by the time you do that, guys, that has passed. So learning to identify what it is. The last thing that it can sometimes be too, that you can check yourself, and I'll ask people this a lot. They'll say, I'll get the munchies at night. And I'm like, well, what are you doing when you get the munchies? I'm watching television. Sweet. What did you do prior to being in this program? Well, I'd get home from work and I'd sit down and I'd watch television. And what did you do while you were watching television? Well, I had a glass of wine and a bag of chips or a cheese board or whatever. Ding, 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 ding. You don't necessarily want it. It's a habit. Your body associates sitting down, television with a bag of chips. So now you have to break the habit. Maybe you don't watch television. Maybe you do something else because your body is this making sense, guys? Like you can identify these things. So sometimes, like, why do I want to eat at night? Every single night at 6 o'clock, I want to eat. Well, what are you doing every night at 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock, whatever the hell time it is? What are you doing at that point in time that you did prior to? I'm watching television or I'm doing XYZ. And oh shit, when I did this before, I was shoveling Doritos into my mouth. Yeah, your body is going, hey, yo, Trudy, where's the Doritos? And so now the easiest way to fix it is just to say, oh, okay, let me just not watch television. Let me just go find something else to do because now you've derailed it. Doesn't mean you're never going to watch television again, but you've disassociated that connection. Make sense?
I actually had this at the beginning, Jules, and you had said identify, and Sandy, it is exactly what you said. It was at night. I was trying to stay up. It was like 9:30, and it was always between 9:30 and 10. And I was getting tired, but it wasn't time for bed. It was like, I don't want to be, the old lady going to bed while everybody's up doing whatever. And so I'd reach for the sugar. I'd reach for a piece of dark chocolate or a piece of something. It wasn't anything big, but it was like, I want this. But it was more, I think, just trying to stay up and trying to. And as soon as I ate it, I was like, whoa, so it kind of became one of those things. But yeah, I sought it out, I think, because I was tired and I was like, I need something, but I didn't know what it was. I just was like, oh, I want a piece of candy or I want a piece of chocolate. But I really think, Sandy, it's what you said. It was like I was trying to stay up. I was trying to find something. It was like my caffeine so that I could hang with everybody and not be falling asleep. So, and Jules, you're the one who made me stop and think, like, why, when, what's going on? And it was right before bed because I should have hung up and just said, okay, good night. But instead, I was trying to stay up and I needed something to help me do that. So,
So true. So hopefully this is helpful to some of you guys that are new, but it's all of this, guys, is just creating these habits. And once you start to create these habits and the awareness around what's happening, it becomes so much easier to manage. Doesn't mean it's not gonna, you're not gonna fall off the wagon every once in a while and have those issues, but I still do sometimes, but once you become aware, you can identify it. Love it. Anybody else have anything to add? You guys are full of information. Look at you go. Cindy loves to eat chicken and broccoli. Y'all pick on her because she takes it to the movies, but then she also will have a pretzel at the movies too. It's all about habits. It's what you enjoy. It's what you love. She eats a burger and fries every week too, but she likes her consistency. And some people like that. Some people like to be, as somebody said earlier, they like to have the same meals. I think over and over again, Sandy was talking about it. She was like, I had the freedom, but then I decided I actually like eating certain meals, and like, that's okay. It's totally okay. Like, it is, which I'm like that. I like boring ass food. I give me fucking chicken and rice all day long. Some people might say that's boring. Some people may say, oh my God, you're on a diet if you're eating. I like chicken. I sincerely like chicken and rice. I fucking love that shit. I also like broccoli, but I can't eat it because it's a crucifix and it fucks with my stomach. So I have, I don't eat broccoli anymore, or not like I used to. But I love chicken and rice. I freaking love it. I also love cod. You acquire these tastes too, guys. You like literally start to acquire these tastes. So yeah, Cindy brings broccoli and cheese or chicken to the movie theater, but it's a choice, guys. It's a choice that she makes. She doesn't have to. And that's what like creating these habits starts to do. Good. All right, I'm gonna let you guys add anything else, ask any more questions, or I'm gonna say peace. You guys are good. This was a good call. Thank you for showing up. I appreciate you all. Have a good night, guys. See ya.